Oops.
We are live. Whoops. That's the first thing that we say on this. We're live. That works.
We're live. That's our new catchphrase.
Yeah, well, the first thing you say is whoops. As we go live.
We're live. Whoops. Live from Whoops.
Whoops. All right, let's go spam a Discord channel and tell people we're here.
Oh,
Whoops.
no.
That's the first thing that.
And now I'm saying, oh no.
Oh, I can hear the echo. All right,
Okay.
all right. Let's go.
Better.
Oh, I should grab the
There
link.
we go.
I should grab the link to this. There we go. Oh, that's
All
the
right.
Wrong channel. Where are we going here? Not feature feedback. Got to go to Blockstars General. There we go. We're live. There we go. And all right, man, we got lots to talk about. I mean, we can like recap the town hall. We've got giveaway stuff. Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Wait for some
I
people
feel
to come.
like, there weren't a lot of like big announcements today, but there was a lot of like little tidbits that were shared.
Yeah, there was some fun. There was some fun tidbits that were shared for sure. Oh, I see Craig has joined us. Welcome here, Craig.
Oh, it's the loyal faithful.
Yeah, love it, love it. Live from Whoops sounds like a Jack FM promo. That's true. Live from that should be our like if we ever have like a recording studio, we'll just call it Whoops Studios.
There you go.
Or like I meant to do that studio. That'll work. Oh man.
Luckily, I can edit that out, and then nobody will know what we're talking about right now.
Well, like, but that's if I let you. Like, I have to give you access to the raw files at that point.
Oh, you think so, do you? I didn't join the hackathon and learn nothing, did I?
That's true. That's true. Oh man, there was just so much cool stuff that went on today that I'm super excited and stoked to talk about, and I think we could just jump right in, right? Like we've got so much to cover. As people get in, they can see the recording. We'll be checking chat. By all means, say hi in the chat. I'm Kayargh. I'm the Blockstar on the left, and with me is the great Cranzini, the Blockstar on the right. We love it. For those that don't know, Blockstars is a play-to-earn game that is almost weeks, not months out, which is kind of their slogan and tagline that they're one of the co-founders, Nico, has subscribed to, that will not die, and we will hold him and the rest of the team to it for sure. I'm super excited. Yeah. What else we got?
We got so much. It's so much. I mean, I feel like we got to start with the town hall and everything that we talked about today.
Yeah.
So many good questions.
I took notes because I was listening pretty intently. What was one thing in the town hall that really stuck out to you that you got you really excited, other than fighting for Craig to have all of his Blockstars only play adult contemporary easy listening music?
I feel like that's not going to be a big fight, but it'll just happen naturally, organically.
We'll slip Kojo a little, like a 20 under the table and tell him to change Craig's Blockstars. That'll be fun.
No, I to me the fascinating stuff was all of the. I think it's all in what Sherry does not say.
I know. Yeah. When she bites her tongue, there's so much in that silence.
So much. The funny thing is, she's not that hard to sort of like read into what she's saying, and that's just like super interesting because you're like, okay. First of all, I can go so many places with just the three words that she might say, but all the stuff about the stuff that we're not going to necessarily know, but we might sort of figure out or have like an aha type moment with one of our block stars. That's really cool to me.
There was one time in the town hall, I believe the question was to do with genres at the time, and I had typed a question in the live event chat, which was basically, will our block stars have genre preferences? Essentially was the type of question. And then Anna, the Twitter Spaces host, she asked that same question. I thought she was just looking at the live event chat, but she was just asking for herself, because then we see that that Sherry starts to answer that question, but it's very, very political, right? There's so much there's a lot that we want to leave for and then a lot of the town hall continued on, and then eventually we get back to Craig is catching up with some of the questions in the live event chat, and he asks again that the same question that I had asked, and then Sherry let out a little bit more. So what I'm thinking is, if you really want to know, we just got to keep asking the same question over and over, because she'll feel compelled to answer just a smidge more. That's what I learned from today's AMA.
Or just keep asking it in slightly different ways. Totally.
She's challenging her inner Nico and just can't not say something at that point. Maybe that's it, but that's cool. Oh man.
I gotta feel like having a job like hers, there's so much that you want to say, but you think you shouldn't, or you can't, and so it's gotta be like almost a little bit of torture in a way, Like, I don't know if I could do it. Because it also feels like at the same time she's like really excited about all of it.
Yeah.
So trying to contain herself.
The other thing was the talk about possible Gen 2 block stars kind of stuck out to me, where there was this idea of like, are we going to have new block stars, or are we going to have the rock token, and which is going to come first, the chicken or the egg? And they didn't really give us an answer, but they certainly let it slip that it wasn't off the table for new block stars to come.
Right.
Before the rock token.
Yeah, it was a little surprising to me, because it kind of almost seemed like Gen 2 was like a foregone conclusion, and I didn't know that at the beginning. Oh, what do we have? We have someone else joining.
Oh, Sherry, welcome here. Awesome. That it all depends on whether or not Sherry heard what we were saying. And
is it like ears burning time or what?
It might just be. But yeah, like I my guess, this is my speculative guess in terms of the Gen 2 stuff, is that they've got to let the game, at least like the game will be fully playable before that comes out. That would be my guess. Simply because like they've worked so hard at balancing 10,000 block stars. If you add like another 5,000, what would that do to the game balance at that point? Like, there are so many variables to consider, and if you don't even know what the gameplay is gonna like unfold in a large scale macro atmosphere, I can't imagine adding more variables into that potential. That's crazy.
Yeah, like how big would those spreadsheets be?
Oh my word!
I mean, let's face it. That's it's already breaking the bank over there. That those spreadsheets would be pretty big. And I liked your question about which when you were asking which takes up more computing power,
processing power, trying to find what happens to a block star on the chain, or processing Sherry's spreadsheets. Yeah.
Right. I love that question.
Oh, yes.
I don't think we'll ever know the answer to that, too.
I will be curious one of these days, but the spreadsheet takes me minutes to load, which, given like computing power, like that's intense for spreadsheets. She's saying it gives her minutes to load, but yeah,
that's big, because I mean I work with that type of stuff in my actual job, and that's a big spreadsheet.
Well, let's see. We've got what else are we talking about today? So the town hall. Of course, there was brief talk about some of the record labels and venues and what that might be, what that might look like. But that's so far in the future. There's only so little that they can actually give us.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I kind of like it when we sort of take things like one piece at a time and like, little bites, like just talking about practicing, talking about busking. And so that's kind of why some of my questions were just, okay, let me take a step back and let me ask questions about things that I know are actually going to happen relatively soon and that I can wrap my head around.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought a lot of the conversation about wages and earnings and things like that was really interesting too. The person, I forget who it was, that asked, what happens if it costs more to send your Black Stars out to busk and pay them than you're actually earning back. And I thought that was like,
Well,
it's like
that
a
was one
real
of the
world
things.
question.
That was one of the things that that it seemed like people in the town hall that were asking questions, whatever, or even in the live event chat, didn't fully grasp. Is that when it comes to a game like this, like there are avenues to lose, right? Like you could make poor decisions where you're just burning through all of your roll because you're being inefficient with your block stars. Or even there's ways in which you're losing roll, but you're not earning it enough back yet, right? You've got to invest in it. And they're like, well, how do we get more roll? And it's like, well, that's where this third-party market type stuff starts to come in. This is where dexes will eventually be involved in, and centralized exchanges and things like that. And so that's where you get the roll. If you've run out and made some poor decisions and you need a little bit to start earning again, that's where you would go. And that's one of the ways in which you would fill up a liquidity pool and things like that. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I also I'm hopeful that there will be some potential guardrails in place that you're not just going to be hemorrhaging money or hemorrhaging roll and you can't break the cycle and get out of it, and make some course correction.
Yeah.
I just have to feel like, you're not going to just open up the game one day and you're going to be like -1 million and you'll be like, well, I guess that's it for me.
Well, you're not going to go into the negative. That much I know, because you pay up front first. It's pay to play, essentially.
Yeah.
Or pay to earn, I think is what they're saying. I think that's the term they've used, which means you pay first. So you've already given it over, and then you start to earn. It's not,
Right.
Reserved to earn or anything like that. And I get that model. I think that makes sense to me. But I don't want to beat a dead horse over tokenomics discussions, even though I'd love
Oh
to.
no, I get that too. The prepay makes perfect sense, and I just have to feel like there's going to be guardrails in place. But I was reminded of my limited experience in playing games, and sometimes when you start at the very beginning. You sign on and there's this little tutorial that shows you, okay, click here and do this and do that, but there's also like, hey, here's several thousand of whatever the currency is. Here's a little bit to get you started.
Here's your daily stipend. If you want to buy more, click here.
Right, or something to that effect. But yeah, I mean, because you got to figure there will be a time when people will come in with nothing.
With nothing.
And
And I'm
yeah.
excited. I'm excited to see, because that's one thing that isn't really capitalized on yet. At least not that I found in the Solana space in terms of play to earn type models. What does the free to play version mean to the game atmosphere? One, a lot of the games, if they're free to play, they're not that interesting to play. They feel dated in terms of the gameplay style. Blockstars is going to feel really unique for everything that they've released thus far. I'm very excited about. But the idea, though, that a free to play model integrated with a play to earn model, to me, a Zynga type developer, a Farmville type developer, are the ones that could really make that succeed. And so that's kind of why I'm kind of excited about this project, and I'm interested to see how that works, because that could really grow the player base by offering that genuinely interesting free-to-play model to entice you to potentially step into the play-to-earn sphere and join this other community that's also a part of the game.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. I think, and that's going to be interesting to see that unfold and how it unfolds and how it meshes with, the rest of what we're doing.
Yes. Well, what else we got going on? Let's go through our agenda. We don't want to talk just about the town hall. We've got a few other things we want to show, I'm sure. Oh, Ruby Waves is here. Welcome, Ruby. Welcome.
Ruby Waves.
We were just recap the town hall and talking about all the things that we love, why we think things are good, and wondering why the team just doesn't listen to us when we have all of our great ideas. We don't understand.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't imagine why, but although having worked enough with you, I can imagine why some things would just be sort of, yeah, thanks.
I have not asked when bagpipes in a few weeks, so I'll leave it at that.
But someone asked on your behalf. I can't remember who
Did
or
they?
when.
Yes.
In something that you were not present for that someone asked.
Yes. I don't know who that is, but they are a key to my heart. Haley, welcome here. Oh, man. Cool stuff. Well, the other big news, like we have not streamed since they announced the Not Gonna Make It, the NAGME. Is that how we say it? NAGME?
I would not say that, but if you say it is, then I'll jump on.
I don't. This is one of those like weird internet words that I don't know if I know how to say it, because it would be WAGME, right? WAGMI, and I've heard that one. But when you have the Not Gonna Make
It, so,
exactly,
but a little bit easier.
But it feels like people say NAGME. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, NGMI.
Would be
Not gonna make
it.
Not.
Wouldn't it be like
because the N and the O, right? Like the
right. So it would be. I think that's what we're gonna go with. Nogme.
That sounds so weird.
I know. Like WAGME doesn't. Come on.
That's true. Yeah,
we have not talked about that.
So my question then, are you going to burn or fire any of your Blockstars?
I mean, I've gone back and forth on it, and I think I've gone back and forth on it in conversations that you and I have had also, but I don't know. I'm of two minds because in a way, it pains me to burn one, but the lure of the Gen 2 is something. I'll say that. And also, yeah, what do you do with what is this NGMI? Okay.
NGMI.
NGMI. Okay, just say the letters. Just keep it simple. Okay.
Nogme it is. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate that.
Nogme. Yep. Hashtag Nogme. All right. But I don't know. Am I going to? I don't know. It'll all depend, because then you hear someone like Craig give such an impassioned speech earlier about his how he's going to have
team.
His two-star team, and it just kind of puts a little bug in my brain. Like, okay, well, if he can do that, maybe I can do that too. So.
Well, I really liked. There was I don't know which Discord channel we were talking about this. Maybe a feature or in the town council, but we were talking a little bit about that, and you had mentioned this idea of like the regional ideas, right? The local, the I don't know what the second level was, but international, whatever, national, international, whatever the three regions might be, but that idea that they're probably not going to be an international superstar, but they could be a local sensation, and that's kind of cool. And I kind of like that. And then in my mind, I was rolling through that, and I'm sure in your mind too, because we think so much alike, was just this idea of like, if you want, as an international person, you've got this international superstar band, they're going to go on tour. So they're going to book different venues, right? So different people's venues, they're going to book them. They've got them all ready to go, but they need opening acts. And so they got to hire opening acts, and they would hire like the best local ones. Right? You can't hire another international opening act. That's not going to work. They're just going to draw money away from you. No. That would be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Because now
Yeah.
it's not. It's still a music management simulation game, but now I'm not on an island, right? And kind of like distantly compete. Now I need to cooperate with people in order to compete
Cool.
with people. That would be
Yeah,
exciting.
that's a whole other level right there.
Oh
Whole
man,
other
there's
level.
so much potential, so much, and it's fun to be at the ground level where we can dream about this potential, right? So, love it.
Yeah, yeah. But there was a whole big conversation today about venues. And
Yeah,
venues plays right into that because, you're gonna maybe have small venues that pay out a lot less. And maybe like you're saying, you're a Blockstars not gonna sell out
yeah,
a stadium, but could they sell out, a small nightclub or something like that?
yeah.
Maybe.
Well, and
So
and and there was one thing too that was it? I think it was Mega Chad in the chat that talked about his concern about pay to win. Right, like when it comes to the venues, are you just going to have a bunch of whales come in and they're just gonna buy everything, and then they're gonna control that market, and because they can't afford it. And his hope was to attach it also to some sort of achievement to things when it comes to being able to access these things. And I thought that was kind of neat, having some sort of like achievement style or who knows what it could be.
yeah,
But
well, not sure if Sherry's still around, but she kind of threw some things out there that sort of suggested that not only was it not going to be cheap, but it wasn't going to be easy.
yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's one of the things where what didn't she say? But I thought
Exactly.
that was a good point. And I can, so far in my experience thus far with the devs and the founders, has been they hate the pay to win model more than we do.
Yeah.
That's kind of the impression that I've gotten. And so I get that they can't really reveal too much. They might not even know what the answer is. But I would trust that that's not their desire to move forward with
I
this.
would I would trust that they don't like that model too, because isn't that sort of like the kiss of death for a game that you want to be popular? Because as soon as it becomes pay to win, boring, hello, for the rest of us, you
Well,
know.
and not only that, like I can't imagine the how much worse a pay to win model would be in a blockchain gaming space, because it's already accused of that constantly,
Right.
right? So this ends up being like you have to prove yourself otherwise and really have to show it. But yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah, focus on the game and the rest will come, Focus on the fun, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense to me. I like that. Focus on the fun.
Definitely,
Man.
definitely.
All right, what else we got to talk about today? What else is on our
Well,
agenda?
we have some important stuff that we wanted to kind of toss out there and give some previews of. It's not really previews; they're all live at this point.
Yeah. Oh, so I should
But
I should bring it up here, hey?
I think so. I
All
think we're
right, all right,
ready
all right.
because
Let's do it. All right, let's do it.
yeah, it's
Let's do it. I got our
it's
website up.
it's
Blockstars.tools
version 2 of
version 2
everything.
of everything.
2.0 also because it could be buggy. So
All right, so
we're taking.
I'm starting with the Oracle. That's what I'm starting with today.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
start
show
with
the
the Oracle.
Oracle. I mean, you've made some more behind the scenes changes that
Yeah.
aren't super visual, but you made a couple of visual ones as well.
Yeah.
There's more to come.
So I just picked a random number, 1883. Maybe no, you know what? I'm going to do 1886 because that's the Blockstar that is in our community giveaway wallet, which I'm excited to figure out how we're going to give away. So,
Nice.
but yeah, so there are a few changes in here. One of the things, of course, is there's all of the skills that these Blockstars have that are not on chain, right? Those are off chain skills that are accessible through the Blockstars game, and so we connected to the game and we've inserted that into here. Which were
The center panel
right in
there.
the center
Yeah.
panel there, and you can see that. And what's awesome about that now is that now you can actually see everything in one place, Because I know for myself, like when I go to app.blockstars.gg and I look through my wallet, I don't get all of the information about each of my Blockstars that I want. Not easily, right? Like there's a lot of scrolling through, there's a lot of that. But not only that, like I want to see the sales history. I want to know what my Blockstar is worth. I want to know all of these types of things. And or on the other side of things, when I'm shopping Magic Eden trying to find something, I don't. It's harder to type in the 4 numbers on the URL as opposed to doing something like this where I can see the sales history, I can see the pricing info, I can see all of the skills, and I can see the star info on this. So it's kind of like I want to bring all of that together, and slowly but surely we're adding that all together, and that's what we see here. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you so much more of a full picture, I think, at this point.
Yeah. And eventually
you're not only
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say you're not only seeing the things that that we already knew before, but we're seeing even the things in the center there, which some of those aren't even factored into quote the Oracle's algorithm, but they're still important to your buying or selling decision. So it's everything all in one place.
A new factor for buying that I have in my head now has been how many potential hundreds do I have on this Blockstar? That's been a big one for me. And I never realized like how much I'm looking for that now because I'm looking at all the potential skills. This one's got practicing. All right, that's fine. I'm valuing practicing more and more the more that Sherry's talked about it. But I'm looking at like, do I have one that has like 5 potential hundreds? Because that would be awesome. I don't, but it would be awesome. Other things.
Oh, Keo NFT guy is here. Hey, how you doing?
Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Other things that I have changed. One of the things that we noticed when we were, changing our algorithm to measure the market data of everything, we realized like before we were using the instrument that they were minted with, and so here like microphone metal, for instance, and we weren't piling all the microphones together. We were only using that specific type of microphone, whether it be the gold microphone or the pink microphone or all of those. But when it comes to musical skills, vocals are vocals. At this point, maybe the type of microphone matters, but we don't know, and we've been given no indication. I should have. Maybe next AMA I'm going to ask that. Do the types of instruments, because the other thing that we noticed was also electric guitar is a skill. No longer guitar X or guitar 1 or guitar RB12 or the double treble, all of those types of guitars aren't registered in the skills anywhere. It's just electric guitar. And so we are bundling it all together. We kind of are ignoring the handheld instrument at this point and just using what does it qualify here? This is vocals? Okay, we're going to judge all vocals as if they are the same currently, because that's what we know.
Right. Which I think it makes sense too, real world style, which I always like to go back to real world. A guitar player is a guitar player,
right,
and their skill at playing guitar is what is important. Whether or not they have the RB12 or the red wood guitar, that's more of like a visual preference. And I'm not going to say that's not important. It is. If look at anybody who plays guitar, and the way it looks is definitely important as well. But from a music management standpoint, not so much, right?
Right. And
yeah.
But it's also interesting that electric guitar and acoustic guitar are 2 completely different skills.
Yeah.
So somebody can play electric, they can't play acoustic. They're not a real guitar player.
They might not be as good. I could honestly see that. I really could.
That's fair.
Electric guitar and acoustic guitar, I could see it being different. If you were basically raised on playing acoustic, you're probably not as good on electric.
Okay, fair enough. Other categories that we had to isolate out, we had the DJ, so DJ as a skill, so all the tables are essentially equal at this point. There was a couple of others, wasn't there? Interesting.
There were. I didn't know there would be a pop quiz today, but yes, there were.
I'm trying to remember. Grand piano black and then the piano red are 2 different skills.
They are, and keyboard is different.
And
Yes.
keyboard is different. So the three of them are not bundled together, which was interesting.
They are not. But that also makes sense to me.
I guess it kind of, well, I mean, the piano, like an upright piano versus a grand piano, I guess they're different styles that you would associate with those types of pianos. So maybe that makes sense, at least in the game sense of things. But
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to have a concert pianist that you're gonna send to Carnegie Hall as one of your venues, you're not gonna take a keyboard player. Sorry, but just saying.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Exactly.
I'm going to set up a classical band and I am going to make a keyboard player as part of it. Oh, my word. No, so that was some of the things that we had done with the algorithm. Other things that we've done is we've started to limit the days now. So now it's not just all time. We had some special dates. So we started with the start date, which was, back in February when the mint date was. Then there was some other things like the How Rare date when Sherry had announced that How Rare would be the official rarity. That changed our purchasing ideas. And then from there, we also saw, what else did we see? We had... the skills and reveal date, the skills date, which was just as recently. But here, look at this guy. So,
nice.
Ruby Waves asked for 342. This is a pretty sick. The trait that has grown on me the most are those glasses. The ocean blue green glasses.
Those are cool. Those are really cool.
Yeah. And I saw one. So my little girl, that was the Blockstar she had chosen, was a Blockstar with those glasses and a cello.
Nice.
So that's the one that she holds. And so I was like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if she had like a classical band where they all kind of had the same look? I think she would love that because she's all about style and fashion. And so I went through my Blockstars. I'm like, I have 7 that have glasses like these.
Wow.
I must have
been attracted to them at some level.
At some level. So yeah, it was strange that I noticed how many I had. It was like I didn't think I had any similarities.
That's interesting. Yeah, Sherry loves those glasses too. Yeah, I think I love all the glasses, honestly. And my avatar is not wearing glasses, but I do wear glasses. And so I think Kayargh probably knows, but nobody else knows. I am still on the hunt for the perfect avatar for myself. There's many issues. There's the hair issue, and now you're all learning there's the glasses too. Yeah.
Sherry's got those glasses in real life. I probably need glasses as I'm getting older, but I'm just fighting it. But so my avatar, I don't have a mustache, and I am not allowed by my partner to have a mustache.
Good choice on their part.
I used to be an air traffic controller, and when I went to school for air traffic control, there was a time in which all of us that were there that could grow facial hair had to do like a mustache for quite some time.
Okay, wait, slow down. Slow down.
All right,
Did we all know this before?
You didn't know I was an air traffic controller?
Did everyone know this before? I don't know that you've said this live before.
Oh, that's
that you were
fair.
an air traffic controller?
Yeah, I used to be an air traffic controller. I would sit in the basement and look at a radar screen and control planes hundreds and hundreds of miles away and tell them what to do.
Before or after the radio career?
Because
they're kind of similar.
They are. I went from air traffic control into radio, so I kind of de-stressed. So like now lives weren't necessarily on the line when I was delivering a morning radio show. That's basically it.
You would hope. Yeah.
And there was
interesting.
That's
very interesting.
There was less substance abuse in the radio world. We'll just put that up there too.
Needless to say, I feel like there's a common thread in that you like to talk, but no.
Yeah, I like to tell people what to do. That's another one I've heard.
Oh, there you have it.
Oh man. So this is just like, so we added the skills. That's kind of like the big thing that we've thrown in there. and we've kind of like arranged a little bit. Like we got the stars up in the corner now as opposed to down here, starting to tighten up the design. We've got a few more changes we want to make in the design. I just couldn't finish them before we were going to go to the stream, so I just kind of put a
Yeah,
pause on them.
we have some really nice visual updates coming, which I
Yeah.
think it's going to be really really nice, and everybody's going to like that. Maybe a couple of other surprises, which I don't know if we should say right now.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be like the Blockstars team, the dev team.
Yeah.
No, we have some interesting things, but
we'll show you in weeks, not months. Weeks, not months.
Yeah, definitely weeks, maybe days, not weeks.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll show
It's
this
something
next part.
different.
I'll show this new thing. So this is the new thing that we kind of, because we have all this data, and we look at the data constantly, and we're constantly making database searches. So we figured, you know what? Let's compile a bunch of this data and make it available for everybody. And so we've got it. We've got what are called our Blockstars stats page, which we're super excited about. And so
Tip of the iceberg, though.
Yes, there is so much data we have. We're trying to figure how do we deliver this data in an effective way is really our question.
So much. Yeah.
Oh, man. So first off, you can see weekly sales. So that's pretty standard, right? So it shows you all the past week sales. Actually, we eliminated the first week. So the first week there was like 2,600 Blockstars for sale in the first week, because not only was there that, but there was also the big buy one, get one promotion that was essentially going on after mint. So there was so much trading that it just skews the graph that you can't even see like any of the other bumps and dips here. So, but yeah, we've got our weekly sales.
And honestly, if you could really say that even that the first week that we're showing sort of skews it as well, but
for sure.
Because it looks like a huge dip. But we've actually been pretty constant in sales of late, and when it really mattered, sort of.
Yeah.
Know?
So what we've noticed is we're kind of close to about 150 a week is kind of what our average is looking like over the last few weeks, and that's a pretty steady average. So I think that's pretty good.
I think it is good. I think it's very good.
So other things we've shown, some just the graph, like some sales trends for certain types of Blockstars, right? So we've got like our origin Blockstars here. That's the trend of the last 20 sales. The unique Blockstars, so those are the one-to-ones. That's Sheba Mask, Katy Perry girl, the Britney Spears school girl. I think it's Britney Spears. Somebody said something else, and I was like, I don't think so.
I feel like we can say it safely that we're dubbing it that. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I got much love for Britney, so I'm gonna say it is. Then there's Star Girl in there. There is Golden DJ Dude, and Darth Drummer is in there as well. So those are all of the one-to-ones that are in. So
that beginning long line means that none of them were even for sale or sold, right?
Yeah. So there's only 4 have only sold. There's only been 3 sales for it so far, right? So there was the Darth Drummer that sold for 6, and then there was the DJ that sold for 8, and then the same DJ sold again for 30 at that point. So
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whoever.
So the others are being held. The other one-to-ones.
Yeah, they're being held, and we know Sheba Mask is still in the dev team's hands, but the other ones are out there. And they've cropped up. The only person that I don't think has cropped up has been the owner of Stargirl, the 7777 Blockstar.
Interesting. I think we put out a call to that person.
Like that, if I could have any of them, that's the one I want. So, but
of course,
I'm never gonna be able to. I can't justify that expense if they sell it. Good for them. They own it. I hope they use it and we see her in the game. That's the best I can do.
I do too. I hope we see. I hope we see it in the game too.
So you can see too, like the sales trends of all of the others. What I find interesting is the recent sales trends for 4-star and below all kind of jumbled together there for a bit, and then they started to explode and expand a little bit more as people got more and more competent. But you can see this right here, this kind of indicates that liquidation of people not being like, I'm done. You know, that happens every time there's like new news. There's always a spike, and then there's a bit of a liquidation that happens after that. And that's what we can kind of see there. That's cool stuff. And then we got some all-time highs, some all-time lows, and averages for all of these as well. So the highest selling Blockstar, of course, was the DJ. So Blockstar ranked number 2 at 30. The lowest selling is a 2-star. I haven't revealed it yet. Do you have any idea what it is? Maybe
Lowest selling?
the low, like what's what is the cheapest Blockstar that has ever been sold on Magic Eden?
Again, I wasn't informed there would be a pop quiz, so
Well, too bad. We'll just get used to it. And chat, you're welcome to pipe up as well. What do you think is? Give me a
let's hear from
price
everybody else
in
because I can't be
Seoul.
on the hot seat. I guess by saying I would have studied, that's
Well,
the
you
point of a
could
pop quiz.
exactly. You would have opened up the data and be like, "Well, it's this."
I know. If I knew you were asking, I would have known the answer. Exactly. I would have just looked it up. But the number, a 2-star
It was a 2-star. Yes,
or the lowest.
they are
I
the
want to
lowest.
say, okay, how about this? How about this? I'll go out there and say it was probably a vocalist. How about that?
Okay, it's probably okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Taking a guess, just taking a guess.
Okay.
I'm trying to
Well, you
set
can
the ball
see,
rolling
you
here.
can cheat a little bit. So, like, we see Kyo NFT guy saying he's bought for 0.4, so he's wondering if it's 0.38. But we can see here on these charts already that there was a 3.5 star that sold for 3.3, and a 3-star that sold for 0.3, and a 2.5 star sold for 2.5. So it is lower than 0.25. Yeah, that's what I mean. 0.25. It is lower than that.
It's lower than that.
I'll
So there's a 2-star that sold for
lower than
0.25.
0.25. Yes.
Cool. This is I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
Okay. I'll give you one more hint, and I'll give chat some time to maybe throw a guess out there. I can almost guarantee the reason why it sold was a typo.
Oh.
I think
Okay.
this was one where the wrong number was typed in and somebody
it
bought it
wasn't
before
supposed
they
to be-
could cancel the sale.
Wasn't supposed to be 2.5, was it?
Well, no, it wasn't supposed to be
Okay.
2.5. All right, you want to
Okay. Let's give everybody a minute. Or
see? Keo wants me to pig him next time I see something that cheap. Dude, if I see something that cheap, I probably buy it. Like,
have you met Kayargh? Come on. He's not paying anybody.
if I show you my Magic Eden offers list, it's absurd. I think I have like 7 pages of offers.
Okay, but the thing is, it probably wasn't listed for
No,
for
it wasn't. No,
0.25.
not for
It
that
was-
one in particular. No.
But they
All right.
accepted it.
All right. Here we go. So the
have
lowest
it.
is 0.095.
No.
Yeah. So you could see that this is probably a 0 typo error, where I think
Yes.
they meant to point like 0.95, and what they did was
Maybe.
0.095, and that's what
Okay,
typed out.
but that just goes to. So you mean that they actually listed it at 0 point?
So I think they wanted to list it at 0.95. And so on Magic Eden, when you go to list it, sometimes you have to type 0.95 to get the whole thing.
Right.
But I think what they
do.
did was they typed point first, then 0, then 95. So essentially, it's sold for less than $1.
That's
I would buy that.
terrible.
Yeah, I
And
feel
you know what?
bad.
I feel like, you know what? Good for the person who bought it, because it is actually really hard to type things in incorrectly. I mean, it kind of stops you, right?
Yeah.
Does it only stop you on the buying side?
Well, here's the other thing with Magic Eden is that they're constantly doing so much UX design and redesign, and like things are changing and things like that.
Breaking things and bugs and
I could
yeah.
conceivably see that this was something that had changed at some point. You know what I mean? Like it seems right.
Yeah. So,
So-
this is the new challenge: is go back and find out
Yeah.
what it was listed at and what happened. So if it was listed legit at 0.095 and someone just scooped it up, I'd like to know.
Well,
I'm sure that's what it was. I mean, it
Blockstar
almost has to
3930. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Almost has to
3930.
be that.
Oops, that's not right. 3930. See, like I had a 0 typo in there. That's how easy it is.
See there. See?
There it is.
Yeah.
It's a singer. Fairly
Oh,
fairly
look at
clean.
that.
Yeah.
I feel like I get some kudos there.
Get some
Because
kudos.
I just want them. That's all.
But yeah, so
Craig needs some of those typos for his one soul flip challenge. Yeah, I think so.
No kidding. No kidding. Oh man. All right, so I'll keep going through here. So you can see we got a whole bunch of just some fun stats to see what the average is of things. And what I find really exciting though is the all-time average of 2 stars. We're sitting at 0.9, which I know our floor price currently is like 0.45, but we're going through those waves, and like overall, like it's a pretty strong average across the board. And you can see that like the star rankings are holding in average as well too, right? Like it's not like the 3.5 is lower than the 3, for instance, but it goes up pretty consistently and has a pretty good average, pretty good metrics, and I think that's pretty solid.
So Ruby Waves has a question saying, does the data show? Yes, that's how you say it here in South Florida. Data. Does the data show? For you, I'd have to translate. Does the data show?
Oh, that's what you mean. Right.
Now you're getting it.
There we go. Okay.
Does the data show what the ratio between rarity sales versus attribute sales, like trends and what buyers are buying?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Because I think it would actually be interesting to know, like, the sales before stats were released and then after stats were released.
Oh, to see how things change at that point. That could be interesting. We could build
rarity was really all we had to go on before. Rarity, from how rare, plus people started also knowing rarity of instruments, individual instruments. But that's an interesting analysis to do.
Yeah, that could be. And we certainly have the data to do it. Like that's just a quick little SQL search and we can easily find all that information. But yeah, that's interesting.
Stay tuned, Ruby Waves.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. We can put some historical data in there. That would be kind of neat. We'll take a snapshot and throw that up. That's kind of fun. But okay, so yeah, that's our stats page. Feel free to look at it, have a look. If you do have requests for new stats pages, just like Ruby, we'd love to drive that out there. Like we'll just continue to build and pour out this page as we think of fun things to add in there. And by the way, these are also live charts, right? So if suddenly something sells for 100 SOL, that will show on these charts, and we will see that reflected. But yeah,
and I think the key to what Ruby was saying, which is interesting to me too, is like attribute sales, like by instrument, or like what is selling now. Are vocalists even selling as much as, say, drummers or guitars or things like that? That's interesting as well.
Yeah, what I've noticed in just looking at the data, and I don't have it like to show you, but for a while, singers kind of hit the plummet, and they were the ones at the bottom. And certainly there are still some singers at the bottom, but we're seeing the singers' average price go up a lot more. And I think in part because people are selling higher star singers, and people are buying them because they're higher stars and they're singers. And so that's starting to bring that average of the singer, the vocalist sales up, which I think is kind of neat.
Interesting. So we have a question: how are the soul prices calculated on the Oracle?
What do you okay.
Yeah, and I think I'm not sure what the actual question, but I mean everything is bought and sold in SOL, so we're calculating straight SOL.
Yeah, there's no
conversion
to USDC at that point. So that's essentially what we're doing. So we're grabbing whatever it was bought for at the time in SOL on Magic Eden. So part of that data too, like I think what Keo is kind of getting at is, for a while there we were seeing SOL at like $80. And so somebody buying something for 1 SOL was really buying it for $80. But then if they bought it at, today, it's actually $100. And so even though it's still 1 SOL, there is a difference of value, of fiat value in that. And so no, we're not tracking that. I mean, certainly we could. Like we could probably like pull in what was the average cost of SOL on any given day and attach that to the block time based on the day of the sale and go from there and translate it straight into USDC.
Yeah.
We could.
But
I don't want to.
We have a lot of stuff going on right now.
I don't want to.
Focus.
Man, but that would be fun.
I mean,
Now I'm
yeah,
going to store that data. Is there an API I can draw that? There's got to be of this the historical
no,
soul
stop
data.
thinking about it. It's vetoed by me. So Sherry is saying the data is awesome. This definitely validates that stats impacts perceived value of the Blockstars. I mean,
Yeah.
it's becoming obvious. But to me, what will be even more interesting is to see, as time goes on and as we learn more, will other stats become important? Like you were saying earlier, you're starting to look at, okay, is my Blockstar potential 100 in this one category? That's valuable,
Yeah.
right? That's going to be how people are going to start thinking, I think, as we evolve. So,
well, once we see gameplay, there's going to be a time where somebody is just like, I need someone in my band that is good at social media. Like that would improve everything. And now you're going to go look at social media. But Keo had a question. It was more about the Oracle. How mid, high, and low? How is that calculated? That's a great question. I'll quickly go over that. I'll bring up my Blockstar here for you. 1773. So what it is it's basically taking historical data, and we're basing it off of averages. So let's take the average base price of all Blockstars, and then these particular things, are they selling for more or less than the average? And can we apply that premium as much as we can to those things? And then we weight certain premiums because we don't want to double them. Like that's the simplest answer that I can give you in the most nutshell type of thing. So essentially we're looking at base, and then typically we see here that DJs are selling for 0.19 times more than normal Blockstars. And so that essentially gets tacked on to our price. The low, mid, and the high, what a mid price is that's kind of like the average of everything. A low, you would consider that as a type of price where it's like, if I wanted to sell this Blockstar now and get as much as I could, that's kind of your low price. And then if I want to sell this Blockstar as a high, and maybe like have it out there, could I get this much for it? Maybe, probably. At least that's what current market data will tell you. So, I mean, market data is based off of hindsight. It's not based off of foresight. So it can only do so much. And it also doesn't assess what is your value of this Blockstar. Like, I love this Blockstar. He is a 3-star DJ. He has nothing special. He has no additional skills. But I am not selling it for this price. And if somebody wanted to buy it, they would have to offer a premium because that premium is worth my love.
Right. And I think both of us have as our avatars, like probably among the lowest in our collections. I do too.
Yeah.
But I'll never let it go because this is the face of me right now. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'll let this one go, but there's others that I might.
It's possible. You never know.
Anyways.
So just in the interest of time, I'm gonna go through some of the shout outs. We had I mean, an incredible week in terms of donations to the community wallet. I mean, everybody really showed up, and it's been brilliant. We started it off with Fedit, who made 2 individual donations, and then I matched his donation. And then after that, we had donations from, I'm gonna try to say these names, and I don't know if I'll be as good as Anna when she does her version on Twitter, but we had Leo Ding, Stevie, A920, and Space Chimp, and Crypto Avatar. And I probably missed a few others, but those were the ones that I was able to catch. All to the tune of, we are well over 2 million at this point.
Well, just over 2 million. We're not we're 4,000 over 2 million.
Come on, we're over.
And we can't forget, we also have a Blockstar that we're giving away.
Exactly.
Right? So that was also donated.
Yes.
That was also donated. Can we talk about how we're going to give that away?
We can talk about some of the ideas,
okay,
yeah,
because
definitely.
I've got like the killer idea that you're going to be like, oh, of course we're going to do that.
I know you've been waiting like all day.
Because I've refused to tell you what this idea. Well, okay, so there's some ideas, right? Like we talked about, we could do like the retweet contest and all the rest. I'm like, that's not fun. That's like, it's
boring.
It is. And everybody does it. And I want something that's more creative, more in line with who we are as Blockstars. And so this was my giveaway idea. And I will say, I cannot take credit for this idea. I am blatantly stealing this idea. So what had happened? Okay, so there's a gaming guild called the Bounty Bar. It's part of the Star Atlas universe, whatever, another blockchain game, doesn't matter. But they decided to do like kind of a meme dance contest. And they just had people submit memes based on dance, and they kind of gave like funny category, serious category, and then people having things like create your own meme, like sort of like a creative category versus just a stock category, so people could kind of just do the meme, that sort of thing. And some of the entries were just phenomenal. What some people had done, they were funny. And what they did was they had a Discord. And so everybody was in on the Discord, and they did like an awards night, and they showed like the top of the memes, and they did it like Eurovision. I don't know if you've ever seen a Eurovision, but they kind of like the three judges, they had three people from the community in, and they would judge each one. And if there was a tie, it went to a community vote, and then they won big prizes, whoever won these meme contests, this meme dance contest. And I'm like, there is something we can do with this Eurovision meme contest / music. Is there something we could mash this together and make it work? Because I want to have an award show and then hand out this community role giveaway and invite our friends to the community just to goof around and have fun and all the rest, and try and draw new people in with a big ol' event. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. Okay, you've been jockeying for this kind of award show judging style thing for a while, so I think we need to think through it, but I think it has merit. Definitely. Okay. Definitely has merit.
In my head, here's what I envision myself as host. So I'm just running the tech. I'm kind of introducing the thing. You are clearly one of the judges. Clearly. Then we draw somebody from the community, maybe an Origins holder or something like that. They come on and they'll be one of the other judges. And then maybe Dave from the dev team. And you guys got to judge these things. You got to give it why is this worth the points that you were giving it out of 10? I think that would be a lot of fun. It would just be a fun night regardless.
This is great. America's Got Talent all over, or whatever. UK's Got Talent, or Australia's Got Talent, or wherever. Insert any country name. Yeah, great, perfect. Definitely.
So we got to figure out the details around that and stuff too. But yeah,
coming soon.
I know we're wrapping up, but there are a few more questions that I've seen. So I see.
Yeah, and Sherry's dropping a lot of tidbits out there that we're gonna have to go back and.
Oh my goodness! I'm missing stuff.
She said, "I'd be curious to see if there are any trends between sales and current star ratings. Will be very interesting once we release gameplay features." Blah, blah, blah. But yes, so you and I kind of have talked about that, and it's kind of factored into the Oracle in general, but to see some analysis of it, absolutely, definitely.
Well, what I can speak to that is that the current star rankings haven't shown much of a difference in other categories. And the other thing with that is that we used to have wage also as one of the things that we were measuring, but we found that the wage stats and the current star stats were identical because the wage and the current stars are identical. And so we could
right now,
we couldn't separate those two. And because there's no gameplay, we kind of got the impression that like current stars aren't as much. I think wage is probably, this is just a guess, is probably what people are more worried about than current stars. But as the game goes on, if you have a low wage, high current star, that might increase value. And
I have to say that is what she said in her. I didn't read that part, but she did say once we release gameplay features where current abilities increase.
Yeah.
Which I mean honestly, diverge. Yes, that's something we have to have on deck, ready to go for sure.
Well,
Absolutely.
and that's one of the things, like, this is going to be a problem once the game gets released in terms of buying something on the marketplace, right? Because if we go to Magic Eden, we are not going to be able to see, or a new player is not going to know, is this Blockstar any good? And so hopefully there'll be a site that can maybe bridge the gap between those two things and help you buy it natively. Maybe there's a site. Maybe there's some developers that might be interested in doing something like that.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Or there might be some people that are developing sort of informational
Yeah.
things that are going to help with that and sort of educate people. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Again, maybe. So just one thing to kind of round out some of the things that we're working on. We are definitely working on some of the more tutorial type stuff, and that's more long term. We have a few people involved in helping out with that. Fedit being one, Bootang being one, and Liz W obviously, and then one of the other things that we have coming soon is the idea of the spoke star, and this is gonna be the last thing I'm gonna toss out because we don't want to give too many brand new things to think about. But the spoke star is something that I was hoping Fedit would be here, but it's very, very late.
It's like 2 a.m.
over
for
there.
that guy. Yeah.
I would love for him to be the one to present this, but just to give a little sneak preview of the spoke star is a block star that's owned by the community, and that block star would kind of be the face of the community and would appear on all of our website stuff, all of our YouTube stuff would appear on all of the educational information that we want to start putting out, be the face of Blockstars U, be the kind of the professor, and then be the face of the giveaways as well. So, and some other
That's kind of neat.
super fun things.
I
Yeah,
like
so we have
that.
a lot of fun things coming up on that. What I think it will happen somewhere in the next couple weeks is maybe a poll to decide which block star that's currently on the market could be the community spoke star. And then we'll work at trying to raise the funds to purchase that, and then sort of figuring out what we want to do with it.
I like that.
So-
That's a fun community project idea. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, and Fedit's really kind of on board, and he's really helping me with that one. So I'm gonna sort of sit back and let him sort of take the lead on it, and we'll hear more about that in the next couple of weeks.
I'm gonna put my vote in right now for those ocean green blue glasses things.
Oh.
The ocean eyes. I'm gonna put my vote in for that. Whatever that one is, that's the winner in my book.
All right.
All right. Well,
Make it harder, why don't you?
thank you all for coming out. Check out our website, blockstars.tools, to see the tools that we built. Donate to the community giveaway wallet. We'll have a link in the description, or just come talk to us on Discord. We'll send it off to you. I think our goal, I would love to, by the time we get to a big event, if we were up to 3 million, I think we can get there. 2.5 maybe, but 3 million is certainly possible. That would be really, really fun. Or if you've got a block star that you're like, I've got so many, I'm not going to notice this one. I was probably just going to fire them anyway. Why not donate that one to the community wallet? We'd love to bring new people into the game, into our community, and join us in having the fun that we're having. So
Absolutely.
be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. I don't know. What are the other terms? I don't know.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya. All right. That's it for
everybody.
us. Rock and roll, everybody. Take care.
Peace.